Good evening. Today is Tuesday, November 12th, and welcome to the Panther News Network. I'm Chas Nolan.
I'm David Killing.
And I'm Jakayla Edmondson.
And here's what's going on today. According to the Navy, the USS Grayback sank in February of 1944 after Japanese forces attacked it as the sub was on a mission in the East China Sea. The sub sunk 21,594 tons of shipping on its final mission alone, and overall the submarine is credited with sinking 14 ships at 63,835 tons. The missing World War II submarine has been found off the coast of Japan after explorers discovered a 75-year-old error in the coordinates of where the sub was. Ocean explorer Tim Taylor, who founded the Lost 52 project that aims to unearth lost U.S. World War II submarines, and his team made the Grayback discovery about 1,400 feet below the surface southwest of Okinawa in June. To find the sub, Taylor employed Yutaka Iwasaki, a systems engineer who studied the original Japanese military documents and discovered that the Navy's translation of the coordinates were wrong. On Sunday, the Navy confirmed the team's findings.
Authorities have arrested the grandfather of an 18-month-old who fell out of a window on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship in Puerto Rico during the Indiana family trip in July. The grandfather faces a charge of negligent manslaughter in the death of his granddaughter. The 18-month-old's father placed her near an open window he thought was closed. Chloe's parents, Alan and Kimberly Wiegand, said they didn't understand why there would be an open window so high up on the ship and that the cruise line created a tremendous safety hazard that would cost the child their life. Chloe's mother defended the child's grandfather by explaining that he often held Chloe up to the glass at her older brother's hockey game so she could bang on the glass. Kimberly Wiegand insisted that the grandfather has never put her children in danger. He was extremely hysterical, she told NBC News. The thing that he was repeatedly told us is, I believe that there was glass. He would cry over and over and over again about.
Dallas Cowboys defensive end Michael Bennett said his new teammates convinced him to stand during the national anthem, reversing his earlier decision to sit on the bench or stay in the locker room while the anthem played. In protest of police brutality, Bennett did not stand during the national anthem for the past 2 NFL seasons. Bennett, who was traded from the New England Patriots more than 2 weeks ago, told the Fort Worth Star-Telegram on Monday that his new decision to stand during the anthem doesn't diminish what he's advocated for. This doesn't take away what I have done. And the stances that I took, the death threats I have had on my life, I have done it all, Bennett said. I don't think it makes me less of a person or makes them less of people. At the end of the day, people get caught into certain things and don't get caught up into what people are doing to change society. We are all men. We are all trying to figure it out. None of us are finished products when it comes to society. And we'll be back with more news.
Hello, my name is AJ Brand with KPVU-TV. This week I got the opportunity to sit down with a member of the PVAMU track team to discuss a little about the track team along with how they plan to compete in SWAC this year. The next clip will be an interview between me and Henry Brown Jr. Hope you enjoy.
Hey, my name is Henry Brown and I'm a member of the Prairie A&M track. Been on the track team ever since my freshman year, but I've been competing in track and field since like the 8th grade. Considering weight room and actual practice time, I would say it's about 10 times per week. We either go in the rec or we be in the weight room, or practice could be held on the track. It just all depends on the weather, the conditions outside. Warm up for about 30 minutes. We'll do a cool down. It's usually between a mile or it could be 4 miles. It just depends on the day and how much we did. The afternoon practice, it would be Vertimax. Is where you have these resistance bands on your waist and you just jump up and down about 500 times. And after that, after you do the Vertimax, you have actual weight room. The collegiate track program, like the NCAA, you could compete up to 10 events. The decathlon, or in the indoor season, is called a heptathlon, where you compete in 7 events. Usually, the coach will recruit a student for one event, but whenever they're actually on a team, they'll put them in more than one event. Let's say that a student was recruited for the 100. Well, the coach is going to exercise him where he might turn out to be a 400 runner over the years. So he might do the 1, 2, and the 4. You might throw him in the 400 hurdles too. It's really not rare because I was recruited to do triple jump, but whenever I got here, I was doing triple jump, long jump, and high jump. My goals for the season, over the years, my goals was like, because I'm a high jumper at the moment right now, so I would like to clear 7 foot and get a chance to be on the U.S. Olympic team. And they have this program where it's like, if you clear 7 foot to 7'6", then you get a chance to go to these meets out of country, like at Brazil and stuff like that. So my goal for this year is to compete at Brazil ultimately. We're preparing to win the SWAC. We're practicing 10 times a week. We're doing hills. We're in the weight room 3 times a week. We're out there, just getting busy every day, making sure we do something every day.
Okay, yeah. You have to look at him so you can signal me so I don't have to look over there.
January 11th, but the schedule is not official. It could be January 4th, but as of right now, it's January 11th.
Welcome back to the Panther News Network. Now for more news. Doctors at Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit described to reporters Tuesday the procedure that saved the 17-year-old's life and pleaded for the public to understand the dangers of vaping. The teen was admitted in early September to a Detroit area hospital with what appeared to be pneumonia. He was transferred to Children's Hospital of Michigan in Detroit and taken October 3rd to Henry Ford Hospital, where the transplant was performed October 15th. The double lung transplant is believed to be the first performed on a patient due to vaping. Doctors found an enormous amount of inflammation and scarring on the teen's lungs, said Dr. Hassan Neme, surgical director of thoracic organ transplant at Henry Ford. This is an evil I haven't faced before. The damage that these vapes do to people's lungs is irreversible. Please think of that and tell your children to think of that. Health officials did not specify what the teen vaped or how long he vaped. They also declined to release the teen's name and said he is expected to make a full recovery.
A top U.S. Border Patrol official has warning. The crisis at the U.S. to Mexico border is not over. Even though crossings have been down over the past few months and news of custody deaths and teeming facilities full of children and families has faded from front pages and talking points of politicians, the number of migrants coming over border is still high, and resources are still stretched. While the numbers surged, Homeland Security agents and officers were overwhelmed by the number of families crossing the border as the number continued to rise. Families with small children require much more care. Border officers pleaded for help, but it wasn't until over the summer when reports of squalid conditions and surging numbers of detainees and children dying were published that Congress authorized additional funding to increase capacity. That funding expired at the end of the fiscal year.
The Supreme Court's conservative justice sounded skeptical Tuesday about the legality of an Obama-era policy that has allowed 700,000 young immigrants to live and work in the United States, suggesting that they may clear the way for President Trump to end the program. Chief Justice John G. Roberts Jr., whose vote is likely to be the deciding one, appeared to agree with Trump's claim that Obama's policy of protecting the so-called dreamers was legally questionable, undercutting the main legal argument used by lower courts and supporters of the program. Trump's Solicitor General Noel Francisco urged that the justices to toss out rulings from 3 federal judges and allow the president to wind down the program known as Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. He ran into steady criticism from the court's 4 liberal justices, but Roberts and the 4 other conservatives leaned in his favor.
The all-new Prairie View Farmers Market is off to a great start with its recent debut on the Prairie View A&M University campus. It is sure to have continued success in the coming months. The first 2 Prairie View Farmer Market events have attracted more than 100 attendees from the university community, including students, faculty, staff, and administrators, as well as residents of the city of Prairie View and other surrounding areas. Producers are invited to participate in the Prairie View Farmers Market. To get a Farmers Market application, contact Angela Moore, Program Specialist of the CEP-AGNR. And we'll be back after this break.
Prairie View A&M University is about the students. Students don't just come here for the education. They come for the faculty, for the creativity, the camaraderie, an excellent standard of living, and the school spirit. They come here to gain something profound and to give something back. Students come for the tradition of excellence. This is Prairie View A&M University. Our tradition, your opportunity.
Be prepared for a cold week and expect lows in the 30s and highs in the 50s.
Now for one of our wonderful, marvelous national days. Today is National Chicken Noodle Soup Day. So take advantage of the cold and get yourself some warm soup, bundle up, and stay inside.
Yes, yes. You guys like chicken noodle soup?
Of course, my mom used to make it on these cold days up in Ohio.
Oh, from scratch?
Yeah, from scratch.
Oh,
you feel me? Then I used to do the chicken noodle soup dance when I got done, you know.
Ooh, hit it one time. Ooh, chicken noodle soup. Hey. Well, we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in to the Panther News Network, and we will see you on Wednesday.